Today we're in our corn plot here northwest of Waseca, about 9 miles on Reeds Lake Road. We're right across the road from St. Jarlath's Church. Stop at the field driveway and there's this path that walks back to the plot. So we'll go back to the plot. This plot was put in on May 4th. We got a new legend plot here and a new tech plot side by side. This is a corn on corn plot. It's had 200 units of nitrogen put down before season, and then we put down another 45 in season. So this was side dressed with nitrogen also. Had fungicide 2 times, one at V5 and R1. So it had fungicide twice. There was a lot of disease pressure this year. You can see that in some of these varieties. There's a lot of rust, northern, some Goss's wilt I found next door here a little ways. So we had plenty of disease pressure this year, and wind. So the first number we have here is the 95 day. It's the 4995. Very short statured 95 day corn. Looks like it'd go really good in some low ground here without getting too tall, or average height at least. Overall, it was a pretty good yielding plant here. We did some yield checks on all these numbers here today. A little bit of tip back, not too bad, but it's a short statured plant. It's standing very well for the amount of wind we had in this plot this year. And this one here is averaging right around that 180 bushel range. The next one we have here is 102 day corn. It's the 4902. We got a little out of sync here when we planted the plot, but overall I think we get the normal idea of what's going on here. Another short plant compared to some of these other ones that are in this plot. Very good stalks on it, decent ear size. Overall, a decent looking plant. It did have a little more disease pressure in it, even after it was sprayed twice already. This one here is still in that 180 bushel range. Next number we have in line here is the new tech number. It's their 96 day corn. It's very good tall. It's a very tall corn for a 96 day corn, but it's got a very, very big stalk under it. This one here was in that 200 bushel range for yield estimates. Next corn we have in line is the 9600. It's been around for a few years, I think. It's a 100 day corn. A very nice looking corn all in all. Decent size ears, a little bit of tip back, not bad. Very good stalk strength. All in all, very clean corn for in that 100 day range. This actually this is a new corn after I look at it. So all in all, this is a very solid corn in that 190 bushel average. 9697 is also another new number. Very strong performance over all yield conditions. This one here, once again, you're starting to see a little more disease up on top. Other than that, it's a very tall or very good looking plant. No lodging of any sort in this one. A little more tip back than the 9600, but overall similar yielding, about 180 to 190 bushels. Next one is 9701, another new number for Legend. A little shorter plant, cleaner again, no big disease issues with this one also. It's very clean, little smaller ear size, a little block ear, but overall it's a nice looking corn. And this is 101 day. And this was in that 170 range. Last but not least in the Legend plot here is the 94 A01. This is the 3110A. This would be very good drought resistant plant. It's a taller plant. It looks like it's going to take a little bit more nitrogen over the overrun here, but this is a 14 around. It's pretty consistent with that, but what it makes up for in girth, it makes up in kernel depth. And this one here, when we did an yield check, was in that 160 bushel range. But past history is shown with that deeper kernel, higher test weight. This usually surprises guys when it comes time to harvest. So this wouldn't be surprised if this is in that 190 to 200 range too. A lot of guys ask me, how do you do yield checks this time of the year? First thing you do is you want to go around the ear, count how many rows around you have, count the length of the ear. So let's say this one's 14 by 35 or 36. Then go in there a ways and do a stand count. So take this 30-inch rows, so 17.5 feet, measure that off, count how many plants you have. So you take the 14 times 34 times what, let's say you had 34,000 population, so you take that times 34 also, and then divide it by 90, and that'll get you a pretty good ballpark of what your yield is going to be. Once again, this is our legend plot here northwest of Waseca. Come out and take a look at it.